Now as Ryan, Trenton, and Sean grab your attention towards the world of sports, food, and entertainment, and away from the things that are probably more important. We apologize for nothing and anything that may be spoken, learned, or forgotten today. This is the Real Tree Shaker Show.
Hello and welcome to the Real Tree Shaker Show. I'm Ryan. And no Trenton. Oh, no.
There's no disappearance. But
I
Trenton's...
know. Nature
Dude.
walking it up.
Yeah.
Shaking some trees.
Yep. Looking for those, what were the bugs that the tails glued? Fireflies or whatever.
Fireflies.
I'm off to
Glue
a good
too.
start.
I don't know. Shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have had that extra puff from that brown bag.
Right.
But I'm Sean, and welcome everybody. As we're going to try something new on the show tonight, it's just going to be Ryan and I, and then tomorrow night we're going to do Trenton and I. So we all have busy lives, so we figure we're in the off season, I guess, if we're allowed to have one. But yet all these big stars on TV and stuff have gone on vacations, but we haven't. We are the working class heroes. So we're going to try that. So right before we jumped in, I was jamming out to some Green Day, but earlier I was listening to some Alice in Chains, and it got me thinking, like, man, like if I could have seen them live before that happened, you know? So is there like a band or two that you would want? Because, you know, they had like the lead singer replacing Alice in Chains, and it's just not the same. It's not the same.
It wasn't the same with Lane Staley. Yeah.
Right. But is there a band or two that you would have wanted to see that you can't in its original form?
Well, I mean, a couple solo artists I would have loved to see. Michael Jackson. Obviously, that would have been just an awesome show. And I mean, like Prince, you know, back in his heyday. Prince is like the most underrated guitarist you'll ever hear, man. It's like Prince could play the shit out of a guitar, man. Mm-hmm. So just YouTube some of his stuff and it would be awesome. But yeah, man, I mean, a lot of the older bands, I'm trying to think. I mean, like Stone Temple Pilots, I would have loved to have seen them. You can't see them now, really. I mean, I get it. They replaced Scott Weiland, but come on, man. It, like you said, it just ain't the same, you know, without the lead singer there. So sucks, man. It's like the bands you grew up, it sucks because you never thought you'd see their lead singers die already, but a lot of them have.
Yeah.
So sad, man. So
yeah. See, Alice in Chains is definitely one. I think
Nirvana,
Sublime,
obviously.
Sublime, Nirvana. Yep. I know he lived a long time, but Tom Petty, that's one guy I wish I had seen.
Yeah. That would have been awesome.
I know, and it's so weird that it's been like so long. You know, and even like Blind Melon, Shannon Hoon, he passed away all at the age of 27, along with Morrison and Janis Joplin, and so it's
been like 30 years ago, man. That's how old we are.
I know, dude. I still remember the day I was homesick from school and watching MTV. Yes, when music was still on MTV. Ball Pursuit. Anyways, and I remember Kurt Loder coming on with breaking news, you know, MTV news, and like announcing the death of Kurt Cobain, and it's just like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Crazy.
And it was like, you know, that's like we were all like getting into them and just like starting to really pick up on them, and then it's like, what?
They're at the top of their game, and then that happened, you know. It sucks. It's like, damn. Sad, man.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yep. I don't know. Like, I think my favorite album besides Nevermind from them was the Unplugged that they did for MTV.
Yeah. Even though people rip it, you know, because it's all cover songs, but They did a great
No,
job.
they did some. Yeah, I mean, The Man Who Sold
Some
the
originals,
World.
but a lot of cover songs.
Yeah, but who cares, man? Like that would.
Yeah.
I probably would have taken that show over a live, like normal
Oh
electric.
yeah. Well, you were talking about Alice in Chains. I mean, listen to their Unplugged. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, why did that go away? Like that live, who else? Natalie Merchant was really good.
Oh yeah,
Brian
10,000 Maniacs.
Yeah, Brian Adams. That's a lot
Pearl
of
Jam.
good. Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam did a badass one. You don't like Pearl Jam, do you?
I don't
You're not
like,
a Pearl Jam
no.
fan.
What
Why?
happened? I don't know.
Ah, so good, man. I know. Damn.
Hey, you don't have to like everything, okay? And that's just one of the few things in life I don't like, and it's Pearl Jam.
Next thing you're gonna say you don't like Prince or something.
No. As my mom is from the great state of Minnesota, they would disown me and not allow me back if they were to hear me say that. But all right, so today is the 6th of March, and starting on the 11th of March, NFL free agency will be happening. So recently, a bunch of franchise tags have been handed out. A lot of big names weren't franchise tagged. So who do you think is the best keep and best not franchise tag? Just franchise tag.
I mean, it's... As far as who's been tagged already, I would say like maybe Snead from the Chiefs. I'm just thinking of guys. I mean, Winfield, obviously from the Bucks. There's a lot of guys. I mean, Pittman from the Colts. I thought that was a pretty good move by them because they want to keep him and they might work out something. But yeah, I would say probably like Pittman, Snead, and Winfield are probably the ones I probably like have been like, okay, I understand. They're probably going to work out something long term with them, I would think. Down the road, I know Snead they want to trade. The Chiefs are looking.
Yeah,
to trade
they gave him
like 8
they gave him that tag.
To trade him,
and then he could see. Yep.
So we'll see. I know with Winfield, the Bucks are going to try to work something out long term with him. So they're looking at that, but yeah, I mean, I get it. It's all a business, and you gotta do what you got to do. So what happens. So. How about you?
Yep. Yeah, like Jags trying to keep Josh Allen, the pass rusher, long term.
Of course.
Carolina with Brian Burns, but I have a feeling that Burns is going to be out of there.
He's so unhappy there. Yeah, he's unhappy.
Yeah.
I don't see him
he's so good.
Because he hates it.
He is so good. I mean, any team should, excluding the Giants, so the team is basically in the top 15, but any contender should give up their first round pick to acquire him, and that would change their odds, except for San Francisco. Like, they have enough pieces and don't win it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they've got a lot to think about with theirs, with paying Purdy here in a couple years,
Yeah.
So with all these huge contracts.
Yeah, you said Winfield. He seemed to be the only safety that was franchise tagged. There's a lot of safeties are now available once free agency starts. Xavier McKinney, Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs, Jordan Poyer. Big names that are out there for the safeties. But with you, Bucks have been active. Winfield,
Bucks signed
Mike Evans
too. Yep,
Mike Evans
for a couple years. I was surprised it was so short. I figured it'd be 4 years, but I wonder if they're just doing it to see, to like save some cap space. I'm sure for now, and see where they're at in a couple years, and go from there. So,
but well, because you guys, Bucks had Tom Brady's cap hit on y'all's books last year, so
and
that's finally freed.
Played a big role, not having to worry about that. So, but man, how about the Bills with their fire sale? Tre'Davious White too gone. Boyer, their starting center. Morse gone. too. So kind of weird, man. It's like, what's going on here? Still got Josh
Von,
Allen. So
Von Miller restructured his contract
why
to free up cap space. So, yeah, that was a
release
horrible
him?
contract. That was a horrible
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
I mean, and no offense to Vaughn, he's just, he's a Hall of Famer, but it's just, it's just time. It's father time. No one else
Makes me
can
wonder if
control
they're
that.
thinking about re-signing Stephon Diggs or something. They're trying to do something about that, but I don't know.
See, don't you feel like Diggs is kind of like in the burns? No, especially he's declined. Like another thing. I mean, he's had a really good career. I mean, in Minnesota
he's younger
and
than
Buffalo.
Mike Evans. He's younger than Mike Evans.
He's smaller than Mike Evans, though. Evans got nice size. Your typical wide receiver.
But, maybe he'll go to the Giants.
I mean, okay, if Diggs would be a great number 2 to somebody, and
nah, he's going to be a number 1 somewhere, anywhere he goes. You're telling me the Giants, he wouldn't be number 1 right now?
Not for that price. Of course he would be, yeah, but not for that price. I mean, we don't have a running back or tight end thinking about retirement. So
if we're going to pay a guy a ton of money for having one good year, why are we going to discredit a guy for having one bad year, and say don't pay him when he had like 5 good years before,
Yeah, I mean, I know they changed like their offense once they changed coordinators. They started running, and then the emergence of James Cook, who was phenomenal in the second half of fantasy season and just in general. But yeah, I mean, Diggs was averaging like less than 50 yards a game. I mean, over like the last 8. So
it really seemed like the game plan really when they got rid of Dorsey, their game plan kind of changed and wasn't really focused on him. To be honest, that's the reason why too. He became less of a focus. I feel like that's when the change really started happening. When Dorsey got let go.
Yeah, but it's weird though because with Brady, he was at LSU with Burrow and Jamar Chase, and they had that record-setting season for the college football playoff. So it's just kind of, I don't know, and plus it takes time to adjust. Let's see how off-season, OTAs, and then training camp, what they do. Maybe they're making them, freeing up some cap space to sign a free agent wide receiver to, like a Marquise Brown or something that's coming up. So we'll just shift to that with free agency coming up. A lot of quarterbacks on the market. Yeah. Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, Baker.
Yeah.
Justin Fields is available, Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, but those first 4, where do you see a general fit for all of them?
Russell Wilson, I mean, I know he said like the Raiders might be a good fit for him. Maybe something like that. Man, I'm not sure. I do think he's still probably at least a top 20 quarterback in the league. I still think so. I mean, it's not like he had a horrible year this last year.
He was 9th in the league in touchdown passes.
Yeah. It's just
one behind Mahomes. He was one behind Mahomes.
He's just not the guy that you can rely on to win you a game anymore, I think. So, man, I don't know. Where do you see him going to?
I see Pittsburgh or Atlanta. See, with Kirk Cousins, I mean, Cousins is the one. It's like we were texting or messaging, whatever you want to call it, the other day when we were talking about, would you want Cousins at a high premium or Wilson or Fields at a low premium or Baker at a mid premium?
Baker, I feel like 25 to 30 would be good. I know I had heard a rumor they were in talks for about $35 million a year. That's a little high, but I get it because, I mean, shit, your Giants just paid Daniel Jones $40 million. So, I mean, you got to pay a guy at least 30 to 35 million now. I feel like, that's just part of it. That's what's going to happen. So,
Yeah. This is for the Giants and that contract. Okay.
Nobody believes in him anymore. They're like done with him. It's so crazy.
Dude,
It's crazy.
I have tried to support him. I got like a free thing to where I got a jersey from NFL shop, right? Free picking of my choice. So I was like, you know what? The new regime, because I was thinking maybe Saquon, you know,
Good thing you didn't get that.
I could have got, you know, LT or one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, I would have got a LT, man. LT.
I was thinking Amani Toomer.
True.
So, but I was like, you know what? Let me go with DJ. So I have a Daniel Jones jersey that just is in my closet, and I wear it, and we lose, and I don't wear it, and we lose. So I don't know what the purpose of it is.
There's no curse on it.
But the guys had, I mean, I don't know, man. It's like you could tell he works hard. The teammates like him, but sometimes you just don't have it. It's a reason it's the hardest position in sports.
And I wouldn't say like I would wait on it. I get it. He was hurt last year. I think you still got to give him another year to see what you got. You know, I know the Giants have been in talk to trade up and try to get. I've heard JJ McCarthy. You know, I've heard Bo Nix, all these guys, and you know these later quarterbacks after the first 3 or 4. But I don't know, man. I just I think you got to give Daniel Jones at least one more year, man. At least one more year. Like I said, we're gonna rip a guy for not having a great year when the whole team didn't have a great year. You know?
No. Kayvon Thibodeau had a really good year.
He did. Okay, one guy did, but you know, maybe McKinney, you might say.
Hey, Sexy Dexy too. Dexter Lawrence was the highest graded D tackle in the league last year.
True. But they still gave up 30 points a game, so it didn't really matter. They were on the field all the damn time because their defense couldn't stop anybody.
I mean, yeah.
So of course he's the highest graded.
Yeah.
He played the most
opportunities.
Exactly.
Well,
usage, man.
What I meant was, you tell me, who is your daddy and what does he do?
I don't know, but that was totally the wrong button that I wanted to hit. But I don't know. I mean, this is the last year where the Giants don't have any dead cap money against Daniel Jones. Yeah. So this is definitely a one and done. You know, you got to think Daboll, as much as I like him, is on the hot seat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, but the one thing that they can say, Joe Shane and Brian Daboll, is, hey, we didn't draft Daniel Jones. You know, that's why there's such big intrigue with what the Giants are going to do with the 6th pick. So
yeah, I agree.
But
I agree.
That's something that
I'll say that I do see. You know, we're talking about those free agents. Cousins, I feel like is going to go to the Falcons. I don't know why. I just feel like that's a strong. I just feel like
I like that.
You know, he's the guy that's going to end up going there with all. You know, these Justin Fields talks, I'm surprised they've fallen dead kind of for a lot of these teams that were real into him. And now it's like, oh, we'll just sign Kirk Cousins. And, you know, he's wanting like 45 million, you know, 45 to 50 million a year. So it's a lot of freaking money, man.
Yeah. But if you look on the Herd today that he was talking about Fields, it's like, because the trade value for him is going down because people know the Bears need to trade him because you know they're taking Caleb Williams #1. So, I mean,
they're probably trying to sell him low. I'm sure, probably.
Yeah, so, I mean, some people you've heard say a 2nd round pick. I mean, but Cousins' numbers are better than Fields, and Cousins missed like half the year with the torn Achilles. So. But yeah, Cousins is solid. I mean, I think you're right with Atlanta. I mean, because they got like a top 5 offensive line, weapons.
Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and
Bijan.
What's his name? Bijan. Yeah.
Bijan.
So, yeah, they got the team ready. You know, like it's a ready kind of made team. They just need somebody to lead them. So,
yeah, I also could see, and I know you won't like this, but I could see Baker in Atlanta too.
Yeah, I've heard rumors of that too. So we'll
Or
see.
a dark horse, but I don't think it would really make a lot of sense. The Patriots.
Yeah, you think the Patriots are going to make a move at quarterback? I've heard Baker to the Patriots a lot too. So
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Strangely
Baker
enough, okay,
yeah.
I thought you were talking about Cousins.
No. No,
Baker,
Cousins will go where there's some weapons.
I find
Cousins
it just so
is
weird.
Atlanta or Washington, I think.
Wow, that'd be kind of crazy if he went back to Washington.
Full circle. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, he'll probably get another guaranteed contract and put up good numbers, and he's got one playoff win. So
yeah.
And Daniel Jones has one playoff win.
True.
But you got to get to the
Giants,
playoffs.
You got to give Daniel Jones another chance. You have to.
Yeah, that's why I don't think the Giants should trade up. If anything, trade back because they have 2 second-round picks too. I think the Giants could maybe move back into the first round if a quarterback they like maybe drops. Jump on the, getting a quarterback.
So
there's quite a few.
if where they're out now, if where they're drafting now, JJ McCarthy was there, would you be like take him?
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if they did. I would be excited about it.
Yeah,
because he's flying up the draft boards and he's added like 15 pounds, to get ready. And a lot of but what everybody's saying is that Michigan ran the most pro-ready offense out of all the quarterbacks that are coming into the draft. So,
but yeah, he threw the least amount out of
because
all
he didn't have to though. That's the thing. It's like when he did. Okay, so what? He didn't throw a lot, but what was his record as a starter? I mean, in big games, awesome. he started, the bad national, pick six for the, in the college football playoff, but that was just a year that it didn't matter who Georgia was going to play. They were going to beat him. So, or TCU, whatever. But no, I mean, you look at some in the big moments, the kid is solid. He doesn't get frazzled, I think he'd do good. And I wouldn't be mad if the Giants took him at 6, because I don't think he gets out of the top 10. I could see Denver jumping in to get JJ
Denver
McCarthy.
Is real high on him. So
I could see that. I mean, I could see him at a lot of places. But yeah, I mean, at 6, the Giants have so many needs. So I'm hoping Denver wants to jump up and get, hey, we'll give you Russell Wilson for Daniel Jones, So,
I think it's going to be a lot like you were talking about the free agency. That's going to play a big role in how teams draft. So that's what I'm curious to see more or less is waiting a few days and see where these free agents end up, because that's going to play a huge role in what these teams' draft plans are. So, yeah, I don't think you can really do a mock draft or game plan for that yet until you know where these guys are going to end up.
Right.
So,
I mean, yeah, because where these guys go will totally affect the draft, except for the number 1 spot. And I think
you got a guy like Chris Jones out there, I mean, shit, who wouldn't want Chris Jones, Right.
Like, so think about it. So what if Cousins or even Baker, or they make a trade for Fields, or Russell goes to Washington? Then that number 2 pick, Washington could do a lot of things. Yep.
They might trade down, and get a lot more picks. So
that's where you could see them maybe 2 or 3 trade backs, and then they just load up for foreseeable. And I mean, there's gonna be a ton of running backs that are available. I mean, good running backs, but at what price? But when you're, I don't know why this is the Giants hour, by the way. But like they letting their best player go. I don't understand that. Just pay Barkley, keep Barkley, be aggressive, go get a star wide out in the draft, Signed
They
2
made their
wide
choice
receivers.
though last year when they paid Daniel Jones. Thibodeau, how you going to keep him? You know, they're having to release a lot of guys like McKinney. Isn't McKinney going to be a free agent? He's going to be gone too. I mean, they're going to lose a lot of key guys on that team because they chose Daniel Jones, you know. So,
yeah, I know. We live with the misery, but I don't know.
You never know, man. You never know.
Yeah. Real quick, thoughts on Jason Kelsey finally retiring.
Oh, sad, man. I mean, sad. You know, dude had first ballot Hall of Famer. He's one of the best centers. You could probably put him top 5 all time, honestly. I mean, I know a lot of people don't pull him in that regard. I probably do just because, you know, he played on some of the best teams. He played against some of the best defenders. And, you know, I mean, center's a tough position, man. You pretty much got to know the entire play, what everyone does on the entire play, and people don't realize that. A lot of times that's the guy that knows exactly what's going on with every single player on the field, you know, so besides a quarterback. So,
well, you know about that.
A little bit,
You
yeah. I mean,
that,
and that's part of it. And that's part of it. You're pretty much, you know,
we were a battery. You know, we were a battery for a couple games till I got benched. Yeah. You know, whatever.
Yeah, but it's gonna happen. Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, Kelsey, awesome career. You know, wishing the best. I'm sure the dude can probably go do whatever he wants in media, whatever, you know, for time being. But he'll get his gold jacket here in a few years. So don't doubt that at all.
Yeah. I'm 5-time All-Pro, 6th round pick. He's in the number 1 sports podcast. I think that's all.
And speaking of drafts, look at that 6th round pick. There you go. Shows that a lot of times people don't know what the hell they're thinking when it comes to the draft, you know.
For sure.
So
for sure, the starting quarterback in the Niners was a 7th round pick, Mr. Irrelevant. So trade all your first
Brady
5. So everybody trade for 6th round picks, and you'll be good to go.
Right.
Well, I think that this is becoming one of my times. Play ball. There we go. Yes. Spring training is just about wrapping up. No, not really. They play a ton of games for some reason.
Yeah, like we got a lot left.
I know. I was just getting
not a whole lot left. Just a couple more weeks till the season starts. It's not bad.
Yep, the 28th. So 3 weeks from tomorrow. 3 weeks from tomorrow, baseball's back.
Officially, it starts on the 22nd. That weekend series in where's it at? I'm forgetting now. Why am I forgetting? We'll have to see, but
you'll probably keep talking and I'll look it up.
But yeah, I am looking forward to it for sure. You know, I enjoy watching the spring training. How much can you judge a team from spring training? I don't know. But yeah, I'm glad Acuna is doing well. Sit him out the rest of spring if they need to. Dude's ready. He played winter ball. He's okay. I don't think a few spring training games are going to do anything for him. So just glad it's not serious. Thankful.
No, it's a long season, and he played winter ball last year, you know, and he'll be all right. So
yeah, I agree.
Let's see.
I agree. Looking forward to it. I mean, I've seen some pitchers not look great, like Carlos Rodon looked horrible today, but we'll see how that plays out. Yamamoto didn't look so great today. I know he got lit up pretty well, but I don't know. I think, would you compare spring training to NFL preseason?
No,
it doesn't really matter.
No, I think spring training is necessary because, like, that's why I got a lot of guys play winter ball is because baseball is a lot of timing. It's a lot of repetition. You know, because in baseball you could be like a 16th of an inch from hitting it out or popping it straight up, you know, so, and it helps with timing, and it just, I don't know, it's like I always, you know, when I played back in my All-Star career.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Ravage called Hall of Fame. Just kidding. Just kidding. All the writers run.
Get to the chopper!
That's what all the Hall of Fame writers are doing. Anyways,
What the fuck
but no,
does
you
that have to do with anything?
There you go.
Oh my gosh! But anyways, no, I like to constantly swing the bat to stay in rhythm. It
Sure.
helps with the eye. It's just a lot like golf. It's it's
Right.
it's
right.
timing. It's the hips, your eyes, your hands. You got to stay with it, but at the same time too, you should give yourself a little break. Especially
Sure.
like you said. Thank goodness for Acuna's knees, just a little irritation. He'll be fine, but
Sure.
I think the Braves should sit him out a little more often this
Right.
year, just
Right.
to save him for the postseason. But
Right.
do you think Ronald repeats as MVP? And
I mean,
Ohtani, now that Ohtani's in the NL.
Yeah, it's going to be
Ooh.
interesting.
Ooh.
I'm curious to see, can Acuna still 80 bases again? Can he hit 40 home runs? It's definitely possible, because I still think the Braves have the best lineup top to bottom. When you look at it, the full lineup, I just feel like
Absolutely.
to me it looks better to me, top to bottom. So sure, Acuna could repeat. Ohtani, I'm curious. Usually when you switch leagues, it's getting used to that pitching. It sometimes works in the favor of the hitter. Sometimes it works in the favor of the pitcher. So, very curious to see, because he's got some guys around him too. More than Trout now. So you can't exactly pitch around him anymore. So, they're going to be having to throw to him with Betts and Freeman
Right.
in that lineup too. So, I mean, what a couple guys to hit behind too. It's like,
Dude,
damn.
I mean, it's so crazy.
Pretty
It's
nice.
like, I mean, it's going to be great. A great season. I mean, there's going to be a ton of good teams. What does San Diego do? The Diamondbacks, do they repeat, last year's success?
Sure.
The Cubbies, are they going to take a big step? We know we don't have to worry about the Mets because it's not 2025, and they've already announced
Or
that.
2026.
Or 2026, yes. So
it might be even longer.
Yeah.
Who knows, right?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was just trying to speed up the process like our inflation rate, but it's not working.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, it's going to be. I mean, the Marlins were competitive last year. I don't expect much from the Nats. Who else? Brewers, I think, are going to take a little step back. The Giants, San Francisco Giants, are going to be really good. So yeah, it's gonna be a really
I think the
good
Cardinals
season.
are going to step up. I like the Cardinals as kind of a dark horse team. They're a nice
Okay.
young team. I mean, the Reds too. They got
Reds.
that
There you go. Yeah, that's a good
young
one.
lineup, man, and they could. But I don't know. For some reason, the Cardinals, I feel like, I don't know. Will Baltimore repeat? I don't know. They got a damn
okay.
good farm
So
system too.
go to the AL. Okay, yeah, you talk about Baltimore, and then they just added Colin Burns from the Brewers.
Yep.
So
Corbin Burns.
get Corbin Burns. Yes, my
Yeah.
apologies. But yeah, they're another exciting team. Talking to my dad the other day, he was so excited about Juan Soto being in New York.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, that short porch in right field, he's going to take full advantage. But it's finally extra really good protection for Judge this year.
Does it feel
Gleyber
like?
Torres,
Does it feel like that the Yankees have just they always put together this super team, and then it's like super disappointing? I feel like they always do this every time, and then I'm always like, and then they don't do much, so.
Well, okay.
don't know.
Well, would you consider the Yankees like the Dodgers? Because the Dodgers have built the super team, and yes, they won the World Series, but that was the COVID short year. So,
True.
I mean,
They haven't
you
won
could put
one
that-
since.
right. So,
They haven't made one since. So, I mean, look
Exactly.
at that. So, I mean, How good have they been? And they probably had the best top to bottom team, but or a lot of people
Well,
would pick
okay.
them, you know. And
So do you think because it's so many star players that they're all trying, when the lights get brighter, you think they're all just trying
Sure.
to do it all themselves?
possibly, yeah. I mean, you know, super teams don't always work out. You can ask LeBron. I mean, they don't always work together. It's very baseball's such a team sport, man. It's such a team sport. It's driven by that. So I don't think you could ever say it's one guy leading you there. You know, it takes a whole team of guys and usually role players. You know, pretty much like sports used to be. Kind of baseball still kind of holds that tradition, while a lot of the other sports like the Chiefs carried by Mahomes. You know, and even basketball's turned into carried by that star guy now. You know, like not really as much of a team game as it used to be. Baseball's stuck to those roots. They're a team game, you know. The best team
Oh, yeah.
wins, you know. So Rangers,
Yeah,
I mean, best team last year, you know.
Yeah,
Stars,
for
yes,
sure.
of course, but they
Stars
all
are
play
gonna
their
make
role,
plays.
you know.
Right,
Yeah,
right. But you need that guy to, take the ball, that outside pitch the other way to advance the runner, to bring the next guy
exactly.
up. Yeah, and you could have a guy. It could be a superstar. It could be a
Sure.
a role player. It could be a bench player that gets put in due to injury. And for a good 2-3 week stretch, a single player, could carry you, win you a couple ball games,
Sure.
get the big key hit. But then they can go into a huge slump. That's just the ebb and flow of baseball, which is the beauty of it. So it's just, I think baseball, you need to have like depth, like quality depth, to where, and it's just like that in any sport. In case a superstar goes out, someone comes in and you don't lose that whole production when they're gone. Because, like you said, if it's one star and they get hurt, then your season's just like done.
Sure.
That's it.
Sure. I feel like the last few years it's been depth and pitching. You know, relief pitching especially. You know, those guys showing up in the later innings. You know, kind of just holding down your win. You know, more or less. So that's been huge. You know, and you see when the Braves won it all, they probably had the best relief pitching in baseball that year. You know, so I think that's key. So
yeah, well, I mean, Houston adding Mr. Hader. That's a crazy bullpen there too. So
that's going to be a real good division. AL West is going to be pretty freaking strong. We'll see what Wash does with the Angels. Come on, run Wash. Come on.
I'm going to miss Wash big time, man. And I know Ozzy Albies is too. I love watching him, but I'm totally rooting for the Angels just because of Wash and for Trout, because I mean the guy, like, dude, just go somewhere for a couple years and try to win a ring.
Angels should have traded him. I'm not being mean, but they should have traded him or something.
Totally. I mean, he could just go, like, I mean, he'd look great in the Braves uniform. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And, he wouldn't have to be the man. Play him every other day, keep him healthy, and you never know. But it's going to be great. Like you said, you like the Cardinals is kind of a dark horse team.
I do.
I think that this could be the year that the Blue Jays make a big push.
Maybe, but they're in such a tough division too, man.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
The harder thing is pick who's going to finish last in that division. Probably the Red Sox. I mean,
I think the Rays take a step back. I think the Rays take a big step back. I mean, I don't know. Love it. I love it.
I'm looking forward to it for sure.
And I miss it. It's my favorite opening day, more than the first NFL Sunday, tip-off of NBA, water polo season debut. I'm just like, I love baseball more than any other sport opening.
It's hard to go against NFL. Very hard for me. It's like tough. But I do really enjoy it. It's by far the second one, at least if I wouldn't pick football. By far the second I mean, I love opening day, too, a lot. It's really cool. It's one of the coolest days. You know what I hate about it though? It's on like a freaking Tuesday or something, and I hate that shit. I'm like, we gotta work. Nobody's off, and the game start at noon. Come on, man. Like,
Well,
start on a Saturday or a Sunday, man.
I feel good.
Yeah.
I think I had some bad tuna last night.
I've
That's
done
when
it
you call
before.
out.
I've done it. Football, I like Sunday opening day. That's freaking awesome. Yeah, I get it. You get the Thursday night game, but Sunday you get all day to watch the games, and that's what I enjoy. Being able to do that. So
Okay, if you could have season tickets to the Bucks or the Braves for the rest of your life, what would you choose?
Damn it. That's hard, man. I'd probably do the Braves because that's 81 games compared to 8 or 9 of the
Plus
NFL,
the playoffs, brother. Plus the
I
playoffs,
know, right?
brother.
80. That's
Yeah.
81 games at least, So I'd probably have to, man. I'd probably have to say the Braves there.
Yeah, me too.
Which would you take?
Yeah.
Giants
Oh,
or
Braves. Oh, Braves, hands down.
or Michigan?
Now, see, like Michigan, that's
The
like
big house?
the big games, like Michigan, Ohio State. Sure, that's more of a lifetime bucket list kind of thing. Or I mean,
Sure.
to see the Giants win the Super Bowl in person would be amazing. But if you're telling me I could watch the Braves for 81 games plus the playoffs, which means they could win the World Series
Yeah,
at home,
that'd be great.
and you're pushing close to 100 games then, potentially every year.
True.
Sign me up, man.
Yeah.
Sign me up. Especially
would
when
be
I'm old
awesome.
and crusty. I'm not going to have anything else to do, so let's play two,
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be really cool, man. It would be awesome.
I would love
I'd
that.
have to say the Braves. I couldn't turn it down.
Yeah, I think
So.
Trenton would be on board with us with that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think. All right. Well, I have to bring this up. I didn't write it down in the notes, but it just popped in my head. I would like to commend Ryan on his newfound interest of golf. Ryan has been communicating
True.
with us about golf, and it's like, yes, I wish I had a golf clap sound effect, so I would give that to you. So, I mean, what are your thoughts? Are you learning something? Or
Yeah, I am for sure. I mean, I wish I could watch more of it. I usually miss the first 2 rounds, obviously, because I'm at work when it's on. But the weekends I've been checking it out more. That's one thing I like about this new box I have too. I'm able to watch a lot of it. But yeah, man, I would say I'm learning a lot about it. I'm realizing, damn, it takes a long time to play 18 holes. Like, it takes these dudes all freaking day sometime, man. To
well, they have to
play a game of
walk,
golf.
man. They don't get like the carts,
They should just allow them. I get it. But yeah, I do like it, man. It's really cool. It's really like, I think you realize how much these guys have to study the courses and every little step of that course, man. They got to walk it and see, okay, hazard here, or bunker here, or how long is it from tee to hole,
different pin position.
Yeah, man. It's really there's a lot that goes into it. So I've been trying, man. I'm trying. So hopefully my knowledge pays off a little bit, and I can actually talk golf with you guys, So
that's really cool.
Trying.
Now it is, do we get you out on the course to play for real?
Yeah, with lots of practice. I'd rather just drive the car and drink some beer, man. I'll be honest, but I'll suck ass, dude. I suck at golf, man. Well, you think these guys take all day? If we get out there and play 18 holes, it's gonna take us like 20 fucking hours, dude, to finish the game. We're gonna be like working overtime.
Everybody on bird watch for 18 holes.
Yeah.
partner
It's
role.
gonna take a long ass time, man. I'm not a good golfer at all, man. I'll slice the hell out of it every time.
Oh,
Pretty
dude,
much.
I've made plenty of signature divots that you would not believe. But no, I just enjoy it. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's so much fun to just get out. And like you said, it's like you don't play these courses often and you don't know what the hell you're doing, you know,
Sure.
and you're just
Sure.
like, yeah, let me get this club. Oh, I'll try this one, you know, and it's like,
Yeah.
I just like playing for that one or two good shots, you know, and it's just like
Yeah.
baseball. If I could play more, I know I would get better. You know, it's just
Yeah. For sure.
you have to. And what these guys do on the tour with like they swing so hard and the ball just goes up in the air, goes 10 feet and just stops. You know, it's like if I swung that hard, I would hit that house that's on this next hole over, you know.
But see, now you'll have to convince me that golf is actually a sport, because I'm still on the fence on that one. So, and it's no offense to the guys that play it. I'm just saying, is it a strategy game or is it athletic? Because I took golf at ASU, bro, and I'm telling you, our teacher was a 5'5" dude, 130 pounds. This dude could hit 320 yards because of his technique. He had good technique. I mean, I was like, so basically it's not athletic skill to me, you know. But I don't know. That's an argument for another day, I guess.
Well, I mean, you do have to walk, so I mean,
yeah, walking's a sport, I guess. So.
I mean,
I don't know. It's tough.
That glove and the coin they have to carry around weighs a lot, man. I'll post a book with all their notes, you know.
Right.
So,
right.
No, it's just fun. It's really fun, and I can't wait till we get out on the course.
It is.
So
I'm getting into one more.
Leagues to the NBA, and we'll bring up Ryan's favorite player, LeBron, hitting 40,000 points. Any thoughts on it?
I mean, dude's played for 25 years. I mean, shit, he should hit. You know, I will say I saw a crazy.
Man.
I know.
Okay.
Feels like 25. I did see a crazy stat though. Has he outscored Magic and Bird combined in total points?
I believe
someone posted that. Like Magic and Bird had like 39,897 combined. So LeBron's outscored both of them, which that's pretty crazy to me, because a lot of people have those two in their top 10 at least. So, you know, but I mean, it's just playing forever. You know, a lot of people I get it. The argument for LeBron greatest of all time. Okay, well, Kareem was the highest scorer, and no one ever talked about him being the greatest of all time. So, you know, I don't know.
I just think it's
great accomplishment, though.
Well, okay, he's not like playing like getting 10 points, 11 points a game. You know,
sure.
He's 25, 7, and 7. I mean, this guy is just ridiculous.
He's playing at a high level at 39 years of age, which is pretty damn impressive to me.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I respect his game, no doubt.
And I saw a stat where it said that if Wembanyama averaged 35 points a game for the next 15 years, he still wouldn't catch LeBron.
Damn.
Yeah.
There you go.
So some records are just.
What if he averaged it for the next 20 years? He'd be LeBron's age.
Yeah, he would.
I bet he'd catch him then.
I don't know.
But
talk about that
Wemby,
kid. Yeah,
dude, that dude. Good segue there, man. That kid is gonna be the future, man. I freaking like. He is fun as hell to watch, man. I mean, the Spurs suck, but damn, man, that dude is like awesome to watch. Look this number in the last 10 games: 7, 6, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 3, 10, 1. That's his number of blocks in every game he's got in the last 10. I mean, dude, he had 10 blocks in a game, man, and it's like I just feel like he plays. He's just a fun kid to watch play, man. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
So,
he did get kind of shut down last night by the kid Sagoon from Houston, but he had his 30 points in the second half. So, but Wemby is just I think what they said when Wemby's on the floor, they're top 6 defense. When he's off the floor, they're bottom of the league in defense.
Wemby still had 7 blocks last night.
Yeah.
You know, he still at least played great defense.
He is just, and it's like you feel bad for Chet Holmgren because Holmgren's having a great year, but Wembanyama is just, you know, I think Holmgren missing all of last year kind of kept his name, you know, because Wemby's was all
rookie
talked
of year,
about.
no doubt.
Oh, easily.
Oh yeah. I mean, Chet probably had it in the first 2/3 or first half of the year, I guess. But Wemby, man, he's just like far and away been the better player.
Yeah.
You know, in the last month and a half. So it's been awesome to watch. So, and he's only 20 years old. So, I mean, watch out for that kid. They need to surround him with some really good players. So, I've heard the Trae Young talks. So we'll see. But you know, Trae Young to the Spurs.
I don't see
We'll see.
I don't get the Trae Young fascination. I don't know.
You're not an Ice Trae Young fan?
No.
He was an all-star. Dude, you think the Hawks would go back and say, "Damn, we should have kept Luka"?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? Can you imagine what the trajectory of the NBA would look like now if Luka had stayed in Atlanta and Trae stayed in Dallas? It'd be very strange, wouldn't it?
There's so many scenarios. The year that Steph Curry was drafted, the Minnesota Timberwolves took 2 point guards ahead of him, Ricky Rubio and Johnny Flynn. So, and then I heard a little thing when they were talking about, I can't remember who they was talking about, and they were talking about when Tyreek Evans, you remember him from the Sacramento Kings?
Yeah, for the Kings.
They had him and Curry play 1-on-1, and like Evans killed Curry, and so that's why the Blazers took Evans over Steph Curry. So I mean, you imagine Steph in Minnesota or Portland or
I didn't know
Sacramento.
the NBA was a 1-on-1 game though. Thought it's a 5-on-5. Doesn't matter. I would not care.
Well, I mean,
Shaq would beat everyone in his prime. Shaq would kill everybody in his prime too, 1-on-1.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Shaq against Wembanyama, I don't think that's even close.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's close. I don't know.
Yeah.
But big pressure on the Celtics this year. This is, I don't know if I want to compare the Celtics, and I know it's a totally different sport, but do you compare the Celtics to either the Bills or I was just thinking the Cowboys?
Kind of in a way, you know, people expect a lot from them. They're very nationally known. They're, you know, Adam Silver would love them in the finals because they're a draw. You know, they're huge market. A lot of people, you know, want to watch them, and you know, similar to the Cowboys, you know. I mean, but they just haven't been able to get it done, man. In crunch time, you know, it's just they've fallen short every time. Tatum, you know, just he kind of disappears, and you know, Jaylen Brown hasn't really stepped up that much. And well, I mean, we'll see.
Highest
this year.
paid player in the league.
Yeah, we'll see this year. I mean, they got the team to do it, if any team this year, you know. So there'll be a lot of pressure on them come playoff time, and you know, could happen. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, Tatum this year 0 for 5 on game-winning or game-tying shots, and the Celtics as a team are 0-9, but they lead the league They lead the league in point differential, but they did last year. So
they murdered the Warriors the other night. I mean, this is an absolute drubbing of them. When's the last time you saw the Warriors? Yeah. Steph was like, we used to do that to teams.
and Golden State had been playing really good coming into that matchup, but I think you have to. Boston has to win it, or maybe you look to, I don't know if you make trades, but Boston, if your fourth best player is Kristaps Porzingis, and that dude could drop easily a 25 and 12 game.
Oh, yeah.
And then Drew Holiday is huge addition. Ask the Bucks. They sure miss him.
No doubt.
But yeah, I think Boston has to, because they're like 9 games better than anybody else in the Eastern Conference.
Well, and they've already clinched a playoff spot. They've clinched a spot in the playoffs already. So with how many games to go? What did they play? With 21 games
20?
to go.
Right.
21 games in, and they've already clinched the playoff spot. So that should tell you where the East stands. I don't know. The only team I could see threatening them is maybe the Bucks. The Cavs I don't really trust a whole lot. I don't know. We'll see what they
Donovan
do in the
Mitchell
long run.
and his little knee issue he's having.
We'll see what happens with the Knicks. I mean, I would have said the Knicks before Randall got hurt, and with Randall hurt, I don't think they've been near as good. The Heat.
Plus Brunson had a scare. Brunson had a scare the other night.
True. Embiid for the Sixers, we'll see. I think the Pacers are just really underperformed too as well. And then, I don't know. I don't see a team in the East that should challenge the Celtics, but come playoff time, you never know.
There's one team you forgot, the Miami Heat. They always seem to turn it on in the playoffs, man. You know that.
We'll see.
It's
see. They got to worry about not being in the play-in tournament for one, because they're down at the bottom. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you're saying, you don't see a challenge in the East, but look at the West.
Oh yeah,
I mean, the play-in, like we talked about last week, Kings, or a couple weeks ago, Kings, Mavericks,
Mavs, Lakers, and Warriors.
Yeah,
that's what it is right now. Look at that.
I know, and then it's like, oh no, but. Hopefully, my T-Wolves can keep it going and get that number 1 seed.
Right on their tail.
I know. That's a good team too, man.
They're young
too. And they're loaded with draft capital.
Yeah. They've done a good job rebuilding that team, man.
Yeah.
SGA
had... No, SGA.
Yeah, SGA.
Yeah, SGA.
Anyway, Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yes, I love that name. That kid is so good. Clippers should never have traded him.
Right.
But he had his worst offensive game of the year, and it was 20 points. So, they've been – and Denver, Denver's starting to play a lot better. So I think the NBA is heading off to – good start.
I hate to discount your T-Wolves a little bit, but Denver's probably the best team in the West right now.
Oh, of course. You gotta win, So but I think you gotta think with Rudy Gobert and Towns, Gobert's 30, Towns is 28, and you got Jay McDaniels and Anthony Edwards. Is a future superstar. That team should make some noise because they have length.
Sure.
They're number 1 in defense, and that's what the playoffs are all about. But the Western, a lot of teams with length.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But we're running a little long on time. So,
yes.
With March coming soon, Ryan, the conference tournaments are starting.
Yes.
So we'll be getting, although the American Conference, I think last night there were 3 games for their conference tournament started, and they were all pretty good games. I admit I did not watch.
I saw the highlights from it, but they all came down. The last one came down to the wire. I saw that. It was pretty interesting.
Did you see the one with the kid who's like basically tripped on his feet and threw the ball and it went in?
And it went in, yeah. He used to play for the other team.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
That's what I heard in the commentary. He played 3 years at the other college and transferred to that school and beat him. So I was like, that's pretty crazy. So
I love it.
What was it Lipscomb and someone?
Yep.
Lipscomb and I'm trying to remember the other school, but yeah, it was crazy. So tourney time. Bracket.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
No, not playoffs, Jim.
Playoffs?
It's tournament.
Brackets? Don't talk about brackets.
Brackets?
We'll have to find a soundbite for that. we can't go an episode without that. Come on.
No, we can't. No, we can't.
When Trenton gets on tomorrow, we need to just put that on repeat.
There's a button where you can put it on a loop, and I'll just play it for like 5 minutes. But we'll just accidentally make a Houdini move. So,
There you go.
all right. Well, Ryan, we'll wrap this special edition up with. We will be doing a. Trent doesn't know this, but we're going to do a bracket challenge. We'll have to figure out some kind of punishment or reward.
Sure.
I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm sure it'll be somewhat fun.
Yes.
So
it's
Ryan, tell everybody.
Someone wearing something on air, so.
Or not.
Shirtless.
I don't know. Our 15 fans could be.
We just lost a few. Butt cheeks up.
What does that even mean? Tell these people where they can find us before they disappear.
Yes. So you can find us on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Music, on iHeart, on Amazon Music. Find us, Real Tree Shakers Show. Look for our show. We love for you to watch us on Spotify so you can see our video, but you're always welcome to listen to our audio on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you get your podcasts as well. Download us, subscribe us, comment, let us know what we should talk about. Let us know what our punishment should be. We want to hear that.
Good point. I'll put a poll up for the end of the show, so you got to listen, and everybody please vote. Well, Ryan, my man, it's been fun. We'll be back next week with all three of us, but stay tuned for tomorrow, where it's Trenton and I. We love you. This has been the Real Tree Shaker Show.